Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. Today, we're going to be talking about Naruto with Hidan's immortality. Something absolutely busted in my opinion, because if you think about it, Hidan's immortality was kind of not used to its fullest potential. But if you give it to somebody with a crazy healing factor like Naruto, all of a sudden, you got Chemical X on your hands, if you know what I'm saying. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, grab your snacks, grab your popcorn, tell your friend to tell another friend to tell his grandma about this video, and enjoy. Quick disclaimer before the story starts, it's going to be a little bit more on the dark side just at the beginning of the story, but with that being said, this entire story starts off 7 months before Naruto would graduate the academy, on the day of his birthday to be exact. On this particular day, Naruto would be celebrating his birthday. He checks off his calendar and noticing that nobody's there to celebrate with him, Naruto decides that he's gonna go out and pull a prank or something just to have some fun on his birthday. The real reason he's doing this is because, really, as a kid, he just wants attention. At this point, he feels like any attention is good attention because he wants to feel recognized, like his existence matters on his birthday. And so, Naruto would get a bucket of paint and start painting some random objects in town places, you know what I mean? This would eventually lead to Naruto pissing off the wrong family on the wrong day. Unfortunately for Naruto, Naruto's birthday aligned up perfectly with the day of the Nine Tails attack. I wonder why. But because of this would unfortunately end up leading to many of the villagers being on edge, because they're all sort of mourning their losses every single day on the day that Naruto was born. And Naruto, not being aware of this, would end up doing the worst thing he could have possibly done. This would essentially end up pissing off the wrong family of villagers, and this family would have 3 Chunin ninjas at their disposal. This means that while Naruto would have done this thinking nothing of it, thinking that it was nothing but a harmless prank, things would escalate very quickly, because as Naruto would be running from rooftop to rooftop, doing his general thing and running away with a big smile on his face, knowing that he'll probably have to clean everything up later, but not caring because of the fun he was having, eventually Naruto would turn a corner and be greeted to 3 ninjas, who would quickly go on to corner him in an alleyway where Naruto just couldn't escape. This ultimately leads Naruto to being captured by them, as they would tie him up, hands and legs, as well as covering his mouth so he couldn't even cry out for help, as they would drag Naruto to the forest of death to beat him up, quote unquote. As they would start beating Naruto relentlessly, we're talking kicks, punches, they're genuinely dragging their fists into his gut so deep that their fist marks would all be marked differently. As his stomach would grow purple, his gut just couldn't handle it, and Naruto would start throwing up everywhere. This would eventually get on one of the brothers' foot, as he would say, "Dang brat," and he would kick Naruto square in the face, as it'd be at this point that all of the brothers would start relentlessly beating him, but one of them would start to actually feel a bit bad. This is when one of the brothers would say, "How's this, you damn brat?" as he would kick Naruto in the chest, causing Naruto to lose all the air in his lungs, as Naruto would start crying, desperately wheezing, trying to get a "I'm sorry" out, as one of the brothers watching this onslaught on Naruto would actually start to feel bad for the kid. That's when he would finally say, "Hey, that's enough anymore, and we're actually gonna kill the brat," as one of the brothers cutting him off would say, "Enough? Do you not remember the fact that our mother and sister were dead because of this demon? He took them from us, so I say we ain't even close to being done." As he would turn to Naruto, his eyes practically glowing red in Naruto's mind, as he would smile underneath his mask, hitting Naruto again and again. And it'd be at this point that Naruto would realize he's not getting out of this with just a couple cuts and bruises. Naruto had already peed himself at this point, with so much fear going through his mind, and him just simply realizing that he's gonna die. Eventually, a while would pass, and Naruto would be covered in vomit, blood, spit, and pee, and Naruto would be feeling so much fear that he would actually begin bleeding from his pores. It'd be at this point that one of the brothers would take a scythe out and say, "Well, this kid's no more fun. We should just kill the brat already," as he would aim his weapon, a gigantic scythe, towards the direction of Naruto, who would be terrified, realizing that this is it. He would close his eyes, as he would grit his teeth, waiting for the blade to strike him, accepting death at this point. As finally, as the scythe was about to connect with Naruto, suddenly one of the brothers would stop him, saying, "Hey, what the heck? We weren't even supposed to beat the kid this bad, and now you're trying to kill him to top it all off? Look at him. Clearly he's had enough. I mean, can you honestly believe this kid's even a demon?" But before he could finish his sentence, he would be killed by his brother, who says, "Shut up. You always were a weak link in the family," as he turns back to Naruto and says, "Any last words?" with a smile on his face. With Naruto staring back at him with all of his injuries seemingly beginning to close up, steam would start rising out from him as he would say, "Go to hell," as the ninja would smile, slashing Naruto, who would catch the scythe with one hand, ripping it out of his grasp, and he would break free from his restraints as a psychotic smile would appear on Naruto's face, and it would almost be as if he was possessed, taken over. Because not only was Naruto for the first time experiencing the immortality that Jashin grants, but Naruto was also mixing that with all the hate and anger and rage from the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. This would lead to a perfect combination of healing and immortality that would lead Naruto to gaining so much unbelievable strength in this moment that shattering his restraints was child's play. Naruto, with said smile, would rush the two brothers that are left as he would slash with a scythe at one of them, and he would block it with a kunai, barely dodging out of the way as he would send him flying, as Naruto would then turn towards the other brother, who would throw a kunai at his head as it would lodge deep into it, and Naruto, looking right at him without flinching at all, would turn towards him as he would rush at the ninja, who would yell, "How the heck are you not dead yet?" As the ninja would try to fight back against Naruto, but Naruto, with his newfound strength, would just instantly allow him to speed blitz him and kill him with his new scythe, as he would turn towards the other brother with his eyes glowing red thanks to the QB. He would begin slowly walking towards him, and he would ask him if he has any last words, with the brother simply looking at him and running away, yelling, "You're a monster," as Naruto would smile, appearing right in front of him, saying, "No, I'm a demon, remember?" As Naruto would look at his scythe in his hands and smile as he would rip the ninja in two, as all of the blood would splatter on the trees and Naruto himself, as Naruto, looking at the scythe, would begin to bring it closer to his face as he would lick at the blood and let out a psychotic laughter, with Naruto making his way back to the village, and more specifically into his home, where Naruto, not really remembering what happened, his mind having completely left the situation, sort of like when Naruto would let out those bursts of Nine Tails energy, Naruto would return back to his house, where he would sit there and a little bit of blood would be on his body, having, taken the most of it off, and taking that clothes off, kind of just leaving it there, as Naruto would remember everything that happened, every blow they landed on him, and more specifically, the way that the ninjas let out cries as he tore them limb from limb. This would eventually all hit Naruto in one go, as he would slide down onto the ground, looking at his hand and realizing that he killed them. Naruto in this moment would feel his stomach begin getting uneasy as he would throw up, and he would then start to feel scared of what he's becoming, looking at his hands as a voice in his mind would begin speaking and say, "They deserved it, Naruto," and would essentially begin telling him that it's not wrong because he acted in self-defense, saying that the world has no place for people with silly ideals, saying that in this world, the strong kill the weak. That's just how it goes. As Naruto would nod, remembering what was going to happen to himself if he hadn't acted in self-defense, and Naruto would just keep telling himself that I had to defend myself, I had to. As he would shower, and Naruto, this time when he would get out of it, just showering, trying to wipe the blood off, but he couldn't. Every time he looked at his hand, he saw them covered in blood. Naruto at this point, getting out of the shower, would stare at himself in the mirror, and for the first time in forever would not spike his hair up. As he would stare at himself and see his hair, it's different. His eyes are different. His hair and eyes had changed colors for some weird reason, mainly for aesthetic purposes. This really doesn't do anything to the story. As Naruto would look at himself in the mirror, he would think, Naruto really did die today. As he would hear his stomach begin to grumble, and Naruto would decide that it's about time that he made his way towards Ichiraku Ramen, which he was planning to go to earlier after he pulled off his prank, but Naruto, realizing that he has nothing left to lose, would simply just make his way there, as Naruto would walk in and would be greeted by Teuchi, who would ask if it's his first time here with a smile, as Naruto, speaking in a very memorable voice, something he's heard many times, would say, "No, I've been here countless times, Teuchi," as he would stare at Naruto and say, "Naruto, is that you? Is that really you? Talk about a makeover. You look like a totally different person," as he would ask what's the special occasion, and Naruto would remember what happened in the forest, gritting his teeth as he would say, It's my birthday. Guess I just wanted to try something new," as Teuchi would nod and give Naruto a plate, saying, "Well, Naruto, today's plate is on the house," as Naruto would end his birthday off with the only person in the village who actually cares about him.
Commercial break!
This video is sponsored by me. It's sponsored by me. So if you want to get another part to this series, I can't say this enough, like the video. The like goal for today's video is going to be 1,000 likes. So once you guys absolutely devour that like goal, I promise I'll be dropping part 2 in 24 hours. So with that said, good luck. Hopefully you guys get more parts of this series, and let's get back into the video. After this, we would pick up our events on the next day, with Naruto at the training fields, not having gone to the academy, deciding that instead of focusing on that, he was going to try to draw out the power that he used to fight against the 2 ninjas he killed. Naruto would spend hours and hours, in fact days, training on these skills, but he would realize that he can't exactly draw it out, which would ultimately lead Naruto to a conclusion, and that was that he really can't rely on whatever the heck that power was. All Naruto knows is that now when he inflicts damage on himself, Naruto feels the blow, but he doesn't feel like it's deadly to himself. And Naruto would not be too sure why that's the case, but it just is. This would ultimately lead Naruto to deciding that because he can't focus on something he can't control, he would decide that he's going to focus on something he can. And so, Naruto would lock in like never before on his training and would begin to incorporate his scythe into his fighting style, a gift from a friend, Naruto would think ironically, as he would begin training with said scythe, and more days would pass as eventually a week would blow by in a couple of days, ultimately leading to Naruto being on the training grounds and him not having gone to the academy for practically 2 weeks, would be sitting there working on new moves as multiple trees would have been cut down thanks to Naruto's training program, would eventually have 2 ninjas appear behind him, as they would both be wearing Anbu masks, and Naruto turning towards them would ask what their business is here, as the ninjas would end up saying that Hiruzen needs to have a word with him. Naruto, hearing this, would raise an eyebrow, saying, "What if I don't want to talk to the old geezer?" Both of them would say, "Well, you don't have a choice, Naruto," as they would take out weapons, and Naruto, seeing this, thinking to himself that he doesn't feel like killing any more people, would say, "Fine, I'll go." This would be when Naruto would arrive right in front of Hiruzen, as Hiruzen would say, "Naruto, I'm sure you know why you're here," Hiruzen would say, as he would look at Naruto and ask him why in the world he would kill 3 Chunin ninjas in the forest, asking how he was even capable of such a feat, having not even graduated from the academy yet, saying that what he did was something he can't just look the other way from, that this is going to have serious consequences, and that he even has to discuss this with the village elders. And to top it all off, Naruto, once the villagers end up hearing about this, what are they going to think? You're going to be even more of a cast out, Naruto. Hearing this, Naruto would just give him an uncaring, cold look, as Hiruzen would finally sigh and say, "What would your parents think of this, Naruto?" As Naruto would grit his teeth and say, "Why the heck should I care about what they think? It's not like they were here to teach me right or wrong." As Hiruzen would say that that's enough. "Naruto, you don't understand." As Naruto would say, "No, you don't understand. You don't understand what it's like to be 4 years old, wondering why you're in a home by yourself with nobody around you. Why every time you come home, you're always holding hope that someone's gonna say welcome home or even ask how your day was. You don't know what it's like to walk around the village trying my best to keep a smile on my face as the villagers look at me with disgust like they wish I was never born. They hate me, and I don't even know why." As his voice would begin cracking and Hiruzen would say, "And that gives you the right to kill ninjas?" As Naruto would say, You know, you really are an old fool. You want to know why I killed them, Hiruzen? It's because on the day of my birth, instead of spending it with my mom and dad, I spent it alone, wishing you or anyone else would walk in and tell me happy birthday. So yeah, I pulled a prank, a harmless prank that 3 Chunin looked at and decided that that was enough to kill me over. They beat me up, dragged me into the forest, and tortured me for hours, Hiruzen. Do you know how it felt as each blow would land and they would draw more and more blood from my body? I couldn't move. I was paralyzed with fear. They tried to kill me, and I was supposed to just let that happen? I don't think so. So yeah, I ripped them to shreds, Hiruzen, and my only regret is not making their deaths more agonizing. So if you want to punish me for that, go ahead, you piece of garbage. As Naruto would storm off, only to have Anbu stand in his way, as Naruto would glare at them with as much bloodlust as he could manage, and Hiruzen would look at the Anbu and say, "Let him go." As they would move out of Naruto's way, staring at him, wondering how the heck a genin could muster up that much bloodlust. It'd be at this point that Hiruzen, sitting in his office, would take a hit of his pipe and think, "Minato, I'm failing you." He would realize that Naruto was right. He wasn't caring about how Naruto's doing. He hadn't even checked up on the little guy. He doesn't know all of the things that Naruto was saying, but Hiruzen does know one thing. As long as he can still draw breath, he can still try to make up for it. So Hiruzen would sort of just kind of sit there with his thoughts, having nothing else to do but just think about everything that Naruto said, and this would kind of haunt him into the night. Naruto would struggle to get any blink of sleep, and eventually the next day would come around as Hiruzen, realizing that he was the only reason that all of that happened. Had he probably brought Naruto a cake and just said happy birthday, Naruto never would have pulled the prank, they never would have dragged Naruto out of the house, and we probably never would have had the dark beginning to the story we ended up having. In fact, OG Naruto would have probably taken place, but it was his fault, and now Hiruzen has to own up to it. It would get a scene of Hiruzen knocking at Naruto's door as he would go on to tell him that he's really sorry about what happened, saying that he's going to be giving him an official pardon for everything that happened and that the village won't be finding out about this, as he would go on to tell the shopkeep owner that he is actually going to be facing consequences for allowing his sons to do that. And Naruto would say, "You think I care about that?" But Hiruzen would say, "There's more, Naruto. I know I can't make up for it, but here's this. Happy birthday." As he would walk off and kind of just leave Naruto with a fat stack of cash, as Naruto, looking at it, would scoff, thinking, "You think this makes up for it? You're a piece of garbage, Hiruzen." Eventually though, before he actually before Naruto would watch Hiruzen leave, he would go to grab the money, as there'd be a note in there saying that he has to return to the academy. And Naruto, seeing this, would just think to himself, whatever. As Naruto, seeing all this happen, would decide that he's gonna go next week. And so Naruto would continue his training, working on his scythe skills and going out doing some shopping, changing his outfit. Naruto was tired of the bright orange clothes that he was accustomed to wearing, and so Naruto would change his entire outfit to look a little bit more like the one that we get in the thumbnail. Naruto doesn't have that little snake that's on the character that I had made, but he does have the hair, the eyes, and the clothes and all that. The hair and the snake and the tattoos, that's going to be coming a little bit later when he's like more of a teenager, I guess you could say. So for now, that's all I got. By the way, let me know down below in the comments any ideas you guys have for part 2, seeing as this video is going to be coming to a close pretty soon. That said though, Naruto would make his way towards the academy, and on his way there, Naruto would take note of one thing that he's been realizing lately. People aren't looking at him like he's a piece of garbage. Maybe it's just due to the fact that they don't recognize him, but Naruto can't help but enjoy this. For the first time in his life, girls are actually looking at him, and it almost seems like they're blushing. Naruto would wonder what the heck that's all about, but eventually Naruto would walk into his classroom, sit in the back of the class, as Iruka would ask if he's a new student, asking why he wasn't informed about this. And Naruto would say, "I'm not a new student, I'm Naruto." And as he would say this, everybody in the class would turn towards him being like, "What?"